What's up, YouTube family? Welcome back to the channel. So behind me is my 2015 BMW X35i X Drive, and it had some issues. So a couple of months ago, I woke up one morning to discover the battery of this car is dead. So what came to my mind that because I've owned this car, for a very long time, I think it could be the battery issue. Of course, I went ahead and purchased a new battery, replaced it, and behold, the very next day, the battery died again. At that point, I know we're dealing with more bigger issues. So, could be electrical, could be anything. So I did some research online on YouTube. Basically, I found that this car, specifically from 2013 to 2018, have the issue with the water pump that, goes out when it's over 90, 100,000 miles or whatnot. So at that point, I came close to the car after I jump started, of course, and I discovered I could hear the water pump running. Of course, that's our culprit. So today we'll be replacing the water pump, the thermostat, give this car some TLC. This is a faithful car. I'll call it a faithful car. It's very reliable. I've owned this car for more than 10 years now. Actually, wow, it's been a long time. It's a daily driver. So we're gonna fix the car, give it everything it needs, oil change and whatnot, and we'll take it from there. So let's jump right into it. All right, so the first thing we have to do is to put this car on a ramp. We need enough space underneath the car to remove the thermostat and the water pump. Most of the work we'll be doing will be underneath the car. So let's take this car on a ramp and open the hood. I'll take it from there. Okay, that wasn't bad. All right, so now it's time to get real busy. So the first thing we have to do, of course, we need to remove this plastic cover and all this good stuff. And our goal is to remove the fan, the cooling fan of the engine. So once we remove the fan, that gives us enough room to do some work on the top. Then we'll go underneath the car to do the rest. Yeah. Let's keep it moving, folks. All right, you know what? I actually can hear the water pump running right now. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Man, that's the issue right there. So for some reasons, it goes out, and today, of course, we're gonna fix that. So for this job, we need the water pump and the thermostat. So I figure since we'll be doing this, we might as well replace the thermostat, right? So, and I'm not sure all the tools we need for this job. And so maybe at the end of this video, I would show you guys to make it easier for anybody trying to do the same job on what tools they need to work with. So, all right, so to get going, we have to remove the battery, the negative terminal of the battery, because we'll be doing some electrical work here. So to be safe, we have to do that. The battery is at the rear compartment of this car, the rear trunk, basically. So I'm gonna do that right now. All right, first thing first, gotta remove this airbox stuff. Okay, that's out, got out of the way. And we need to remove these two bolts. Okay. Tuck that to the side. So there's 2 more bolts here. I think that's 8mm. Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. That's out. Let's tuck that to the side. Oh, wow, there's enough room right here. Only if they move this a little bit backward. But of course, yeah, the Germans gotta do German things their way, you know? Anyways, so there's another, I think this is T25 bolt that we need to remove down here. So let's do that. Okay, that's one. We need a little bit of room for this side. Yeah, we need to improvise. Let me get a different type of tool. Okay, that worked. The bolt is out. So I think we have to remove this bracket. That's gonna give us another room to, yeah, to remove this tab because something else is holding this. So let me get, maybe this is 13, 14 bolts. And they're not tight, which is good. Okay. That's 2. And 4. Okay. Okay. Something else I need to remove. Okay. Now what? My roots. Oh, okay. Not bad. Thought that was gonna move some coolant out. Okay, that's a little bit dirty, but it's out. Actually, you know what? First thing first, let's disconnect the fan electrical harness. Okay, if I can get enough space. Okay, that's helpful. There you go. That's out of the way. All right, folks, so the fan is out. So let me explain something which I thought was an amazing, impressive design by BMW. So basically, you see this tab right here? So this tab folds out like this, and that's how it's installed, to the core of the car. That's the radiator support. So basically, there's a tab that you have to push in this way. This is the driver's side, by the way. So I have to push it in this way, then move this to the side. That gives you enough room to basically detach it to the radiator support, and you can remove it from the car. So I don't know if I can show you guys the tab. So this tab right here, you push this in. Once you push this in, that frees up the fan. You move it up, then fold that flap inward, then you can move it out. I thought that's an impressive design. So you see all the rooms we have right now? Yes, so that's the thermostat. The water pump is right underneath that. So yes, that's that took me a minute. Here's what I would recommend. You need to take your time when working on these plastic tabs. They can easily break. And of course, everything around it is very critical because it's the radiator support. So anything that breaks here, it's going to create some rattleness. You don't want that. You don't want to create more issue for yourself trying to do this by yourself. So be warned. It's actually pretty easy. So whoever the engineer is that designed this thought about us, we the DIYs. So anyways, that's about that. So we'll keep it moving. Next, we have to remove the thermostat and the water pump. So I'll see as much as I can do from the top, then take it down underneath the car. So let's keep it moving. All right, folks, it started to rain. So we're going to pause here and come back afterwards. So when we come back, the next thing we're going to do is remove the underplate cover, and that'll give us enough room to walk underneath the car. So actually, I was thinking about how I'm going to remove the thermostat. So I probably will start from the top here. So I recently upgraded this. I mean, most of you guys own the BMW X5s, the N55 engine. That's this, V6. Basically, we know this is a must upgrade in your car. So usually BMW designed it with a plastic. I'm not sure why they did that. So I upgraded it with aluminum piece. So we can remove this hose here, makes it easier. Then probably remove the thermostat with the hose attached to it. And afterwards, yeah, do the rest down there. And I think I might be able to do this from the top. We'll see. So again, we'll pause things here and come back once the rain stops. Catch you guys in a minute. All right, guys, so the thermostat is out. So I actually ended up taking it out with the pipe attached to it. That's probably the easiest way for us right now. So so the next thing we're gonna do is to remove the water pump. So there are 3 bolts holding the water pump. One is on the top right there. It's actually right here. And the other 2 is underneath the car. So we're gonna remove this top one. That's the most difficult one. Then go down underneath the car and remove it. I think the best way for us is there's no room under there to remove the water pump. So this is probably the easiest way for us to remove it from the top and install it from the top. So yeah, so that's out. Let's keep moving. All right, folks, so the water pump basically is ready to come out. I took care of the bolt on the top, 2 bolts down there. There are 2 holes that actually is attached to the water pump. So one I took out, the other one I left attached, and I'll show you guys why in a minute. So the last thing left for me to do is to unhook this, the wiring harness attached to the water pump. So that guy right here. So I'll need both hands to do that. Once I'm done with that, the water pump is good to come out. Let's do that quickly. All right, so I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about regarding the 2 holes. So this is the top one. This is the one. Actually, you know what? This is how the water pump is attached to the car. Exactly like this. So basically, that's the top bolt. This is the 2 bottom bolts. So I figured instead of removing this is probably going to be very difficult, and it's this attached to the the thermostat housing, that one over there. So I figured it's probably easier to just leave it attached on the water pump, that I can just easily replace it like that. So yeah, again, I should mention that I took the water pump out from the top of the car. So basically, you have to be very careful, because this is the radiator. And as you guys know, that this can easily crack, aluminum to aluminum. So basically, you have to be careful when you're bringing it out. Yeah. And hopefully you don't damage the radiator. So the water pump is out. So I'm going to go ahead and transfer the hose to the new one and wiggle it back inside the car. So let's keep moving. Actually, before I do that, I wanted to make sure that these two water pumps are the same. As you can see, they are. So which is fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, that's an OEM. So good to go. All right, folks, nature is fighting us today. It rains every couple of minutes, then stop, then it's about to start again. Yeah, but we have to keep fighting through it. So we're about to install the water pump back in the car. So I have to find the same way we took it out. Gonna, try as much as possible. Be careful not to scratch this radiator. Unfortunately, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work to move the radiator on to the side, but we should be able to harness this down here. So I'll put the camera down and put it back in the car. Be back in a minute. Oh, here comes the rain again. So, oh yeah. Anyways, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so yeah, we're done here. The car is currently running. No coolant leak. Everything is good to go. So, unfortunately, I lost some video feeds. Basically, I had to reinstall after I took out the thermostat and the water pump, I restored them back. And yeah, it was a little bit hassle to put those things back, but I got it working, which is all that matters. So we're good to go. All right, guys, so we're done. We've installed the thermostat and the water pump back. No leaks whatsoever. Good to go. Top the coolant and all that good stuff. Now I have to wait for 24 hours or thereabouts to verify that the battery is no longer losing charge. But as far as I'm concerned, this issue is resolved. Again, this is something you can do in front of your garage. Of course, there's some time. It's going to take you a couple of hours to get it done, but you have to be careful with all the plastic tabs and whatnot. So if this is helpful for you guys, I know there's someone out there having similar issues. At least now you know what's causing the issues. So hit me up on the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. As always, I appreciate if you like and subscribe to support the channel. I have amazing stuff, amazing content still coming up after this. We're still working on this GTI Autoborn and some other good stuff. I have a surprise coming up in a couple of weeks. But either way, thank you guys as always. Enjoy the rest of the day. Peace.